for celebrities to do what they do. Colin Kaepernick stepped out there and he did his thing, right? And it was a noble thing. You got to take some risks to get some things heard. But I guarantee you, and I'm going to say this real fast, and I mean this, a lot of you all would never do what Colin Kaepernick did at your job. But you want somebody else to step up and do some things to make it happen, right? And you run a Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, so you can make your little comments and posts. But that's safe. That's real safe from your comfy couch and from your desk at work. Guaranteed if your boss said don't post anything else, I guarantee you wrap that internet up real fast. So what I'm saying is that, you know what, it's okay to have your opinion. You can say what you want to say. This is a free world, it's a free country. But what I really want to know is, those same people that are talking about Ray Lewis, the owners and everything else, and people need to do this and that, that those same people going to be watching NFL games coming up this season. Yeah. Just my opinion, you know what I'm saying? We just talking. Bobby Rocks right here for 89.3 FM. A lot of good music coming up for your listening pleasure, right? And we're going to go to the other end of the spectrum. It just seems like whatever side of the spectrum or end of the spectrum that people are on, they still just get pelted. Okay, so all right, you got a critical thinker. You got Dr. Umar Johnson. He was in the news, last week. He was on the Roland Martin show. Now, you know Dr. Umar Johnson stinks what he feels and what he thinks about things, right? Totally different from Ray Lewis, right? They say that Umar Johnson is keeping it real. He gets in trouble too. A lot of people don't like him. Some people love him. Actually, a lot of people love him. I'm going to say that right there. But you got some people who absolutely don't want to hear anything that he has to say. I don't agree with what everybody says, but I can find some truth and some good nuggets, and I pull those things and I use them. Okay? That's all I'm saying. That's the message today. Don't get so upset, so teed off, that you really missed the message. Okay? So this is from Dr. Umar Johnson. You're going to hear a panel of people. They're just really going to just get into it. It's going to get a little heated. You be the judge. Who's upset, who's doing too much, and who's making sense. Bobby Rocks right here for 89.3.
Was they looking for a school? Why not start a charter school? We can start a school.
Because charter schools are owned by the state, and I'm a Pan-Africanist. I believe what is to be done for black people must be done by black people. Why do I want a charter school?
So you want a private school?
Exactly. Independent school. Lauren.
So the question of interracial marriage,
Yes,
I mean,
ma'am.
come on, man. You're too smart for this. We got 43.
Smart for what?
We got 43 million black people in this country.
And
We
that
got
means
over
what?
190 million white people. You're gonna sit here and say that if
And you
a
got
black
half the
person,
black
a white person get married, a black person, a white person get married, one can't understand the other person's struggle. You've seen Tim Wise, right? You've seen Reverend Wallace. You've seen white people who understand racism very well.
That doesn't mean they want to do anything about
The
it.
other thing that is obviously true is they understand racism when you see things like the murder of Medgar Evers, like the murder of Martin Luther King. They understand racism.
And what did they do about it?
They understand us gaining just fine, and that's why murder happens.
Based on what?
So the idea that somehow a white person can't understand our struggle,
I
no
could
way.
care less what they understand. I'm
No
asking
way.
you, what have they done systematically
He already
to
told you
improve
that.
the opportunities
He
of white
already
folks?
told you
He
that.
did not tell
Oh,
me
yes,
that.
you did tell
He did not tell me that.
You're going to tell me that guys like Tim Wise and Reverend Wallace don't understand
What about
race in
Tim
America?
Wise?
They don't understand race
He
in America?
articulates
They don't-
racism. So what has he done to
There are no white
systematically
people that understand race in
eliminate it?
America.
There's not a white person
There's
in
no white
America.
people who understand race in America.
There's not a white person.
Them going to Eugene.
There's not a white person in America who has ever worked to systematically eliminate the white privilege that they benefit from vis-a-vis your oppression.
You know 190 million people in America.
Eugene.
Whoa, we're not going to go there. We're not, I haven't.
Calling me a liar and you're cool.
Well, it's a fact that
Watch
you're
how
lying.
you talk
It's
to
a
me,
fact
or
that
watch
you're
how I
lying.
talk
It's
to
a
you.
fact that you're
I
lying.
understand you
To
want
say
to
that,
No, everybody, 1 second. Several things I don't allow. I don't allow the N-word. I don't allow coon. We can talk to one another and disagree, but I do not use racial epithets against
And
black
that's
people.
fine, but he called me a liar.
No.
So
Racial epithets will not be used on this show.
And that's fine.
By anybody.
But how we talk to each
but
other.
you can say whatever you want, but no racial epithets will be used on this show about black people to black people. Eugene, your question.
So, from your paradigm, from your perspective, the Civil Rights Act isn't an act of white folk stepping up on behalf of black folk. Current criminal justice reform legislation movement isn't a current act of white folk stepping on behalf of black folk. Folk that funded the civil rights movement in the 50s and 60s isn't an act of white folks stepping up and have a black folk. I'm sorry, as an American, because I define myself as an American, an African American.
Sure you do.
I live in a country that moves forward together. And I say that as a Republican. We move forward together. Yes, we have individual struggles. Yes, we have struggles.
I'm not talking
yes, we
about.
have. Yes, no. Yes, we have.
Talking about systematic.
We have systematic.
Finish in 15 seconds, then answer.
We have systematic struggles, and together as a country, moving forward to defeat those struggles.
Really? So, based on what you said, I want you to give me examples of white folk, not individuals, but systematically. Excuse me.
Why can't they be individuals?
I know you can't wait till finish.
1 second answer.
Can I finish?
Go.
Okay, I'm going. Okay? You cannot name anything systematically done ever in this country by white people to equal the playing field for black folks.
The Civil Rights Act, Congress literally sits behind us. The Civil Rights Act, the Voting Rights Act.
Are you aware?
Can I
Both of them.
White people are proud of you, son.
Let me ask Scott Bolden. Quick. I think the terminology and the narrative being used is a little misleading, not from you, but from this dialogue right here.
Okay.
It's one thing to sympathize with the struggle. It's another one to empathize with the struggle. Very different. When you talk about marriage being a political choice, and that one of the arguments that you made that I tend to agree with is that if you don't marry a black woman, then she can never support and comfort and value your day-to-day struggle as a black man. That being said, I do think that the level of the rhetoric that you use in regard to your Pan-Africanism is difficult for many of us, quote, in the mainstream to get our arms around. But this issue about black men and white women in the civil rights struggle is not a new discussion. My mother was a civil rights activist in Chicago, and she would often complain privately that, one, you can't sleep white and talk black, if you will. And that's always been in the American struggle, American struggle with ourselves. The other thing is that we struggle with our own psychology about self-love and otherwise. And if we get our arms around that does make sense.
Bobby Rocks right here, 89.3 FM. We just having a conversation, because